Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video, we'll be comparing the Chevy Colorado to the Honda Ridgeline to see who makes a better mid-size pickup truck. Before we get in this video, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to the Jerry Center Chevy here in Salt Lake for giving me some time with this Colorado. I'll include a link to their website in the description down below so you can check out what they have currently. If you have any questions, need any help, just ask for Jeffrey. And then also include a link to my car buying guide in the description down below as well. Let's get into it. Under the hood of the Ridgeline is a 3.5-liter V6 that goes through a 9-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy is 18 around town and then 23 on the highway, with power outputs being 280 horsepower and then 262 pound-feet of torque. Under the hood of the Colorado is a turbocharged 2.7-liter 4-cylinder that goes through an 8-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy is 18 around town and then 23 on the highway, with power outputs being 310 horsepower and then 430 pound-feet of torque. Before we move forward with this comparison, I do want to mention, if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. So, starting with the Ridgeline, we've got the Trail Sport package, which is kind of Honda's off-road package for the Ridgeline. And then with the Colorado, we have the Z71 package, which isn't Chevy's only off-road package for the Colorado, but it's kind of like one of their more entry-level off-road packages, but also makes the truck a little bit fancier. Anywho, with the Ridgeline, if you just look at it like dead on, it looks just like a Passport. It looks just like, you know, Honda's other SUV. So yeah, it's unibody. So yeah, it makes sense and shares a lot of the stuff from that. So it makes sense as to why it looks the same. The Colorado has a unique look in the Chevy lineup, and it's very truck-like. It's kind of like the modern trucks look a little bit more aggressive. And then notice we do have stuff like fog lights with the Colorado there a little bit higher up. You can see the tow hooks there at the bottom. So kind of more traditional truck stuff. And then around the side here at the Ridgeline, it's 245 by 60 by 18 in the front and over in the rear. And you can see here with the wheels, they're pretty cool with the chunky spokes. Got all-terrain tires with this. And then, like I said, unibody construction, independent suspension front and rear with the Ridgeline. So it's basically an SUV, or I should say a crossover, with a truck bed. Now on the side here at the Colorado, our tire wheel setup is 255 by 55 by 20 in the front and over in the rear. And yeah, big fancy wheels, but still, you know, all-terrain tires. Chunky fender flares. This one actually has side steps. And then the Colorado is a little bit more traditional. So body on frame, solid rear axle. So it's a true truck. And it's got leaf springs in the back. Kind of see them a little bit more there on that side. They exist. Now we'll start with the Colorado when it comes to beds. Just a traditional truck bed, so that is dampened, which is nice. Got some storage here. It is drainable, but yeah, plenty of space, protection from the factory. We also have an outlet in the bed as well. So just a nice setup. And lifting up the tailgate, easy to get that into place. The Ridgeline is not traditional whatsoever. So the tailgate does not slow lower down. So if you just let it go, it will in fact go. But yeah, you can see we've got protection and everything from the factory. Then if we lift up this tailgate, it's got a swing gate function, and then we have a like trunk in the truck bed. So yeah, a little bit different with the overall setup, but both of them have truck beds. You can see the Ridgeline, it's weird because it's rounded on the front and then it's like just boxy there on the back. Whereas the Colorado, it stays a little bit more uniform with the design, I'd say. Now in the back of the Colorado, decent legroom. We've got little storage pocket there, and you can see with the soft touch trim. And then look at these seats, pretty cool. Looking with the camo print and everything. We also have a manual window as well. Then headroom's decent. So in the back of the Ridgeline, not really any more space than the Colorado, but you can see with the door panel there, pretty fancy looking. And then we've got some vents down below. Nice seats, you can see the stitching and everything down the center. And then good headroom. Now taking a look at the front door panel with the Colorado. Again, you can see with the stitching and the soft touch trim there. All of our window controls, their mirror adjustments. Blind spotting with the mirrors. And then taking a look at the sticker here, $13.89 for the payload. Pretty cool looking front seats. Look at all that, the trim. All of our adjustments on the side. And you can see with the trailer brake controls there as well. And then let's pop in and see how the door panel is. Solid. Pretty cool startup. They're full digital gauge cluster with the Colorado, very customizable too. Nice trim with the steering wheel. You got stuff like your adaptive cruise control, for example. And then popping into the center, 360 camera system, another nice feature, good resolution. As for the rest of the infotainment system, pretty quick response time, so easy enough to use. Analog controls here for the climate, dual zone climate, heated seats, and then you can see we've got some more controls down below. Important stuff you can add, auxiliary items to this. You also have a wireless phone charging pad. And this does have a traditional 2-speed transfer case as well as an advanced 4-wheel drive system. Shifter there, and then you can see with the cup holders. Center console's got pretty good storage. And this is cool with all the trim on the dash. And then we do have a sunroof up top. And then this one has equipped stickers for just under $50K. And then taking a look at the Ridgeline, again, soft touch, similar to the Colorado. I mean, different material use, but soft touch in the same area pretty much. Window controls, you got your memory seat function, blind spot with the mirrors. $14.77 is the payload for the Ridgeline. It says Trail Sport there on the seat. You can see perforated all down the center there. And then you got stuff like your econ modes for the mirror adjustments. And you can see the lane departure, stability control, and then collision assist, all of that. And solid. Start her up. Pretty cool. So yeah, not as customizable as the gauge cluster there in the Chevy, but still a good system. I like the steering wheel a lot. It's got like the perforated texture. I don't know if you can see that very well. I think that's nice with the orange stitching. You still have practical controls in the front, including your heated steering wheel control and adaptive cruise control and all of that. And then this has just a traditional backup camera, no 360. And then you can see with the infotainment system there, pretty quick response time with the screen. Got your tri-zone climate controls, heated seats, wireless phone charging pad, and then you can see here with the transmission select, and then just an all-wheel drive system. Again, it's a crossover basically. Some cup holders, good storage here. And then gonna pop this open. We'll do the price right now. So 46, almost 47K for this. And then we've got some controls up top. So for the sunroof, and then this one actually has a power sliding rear window. So a little bit fancier. So with that being said, let's take them out and see which one drives the best. Let's talk about visibility here in the Colorado before we set off. Visibility of the hood, the mirrors, with the rest of the rear, and well, let's see, truck versus fake truck, right? I know that's what a lot of people will be saying, but I feel like the public opinion on the Ridgeline has magically changed since Ford released the Maverick. It's like I remember when I did reviews just a few years ago, everyone was like, Ridgeline's not a real truck, it's a this and that. And then as soon as Ford releases a Maverick, which is basically a Ridgeline but smaller, everyone's like, oh, the Ridgeline's so cool, it's such a nice truck. And it's funny that it takes an American automaker to release something for people to accept a concept that a foreign automaker has had in the US market for quite some time. But anywho, seats are pretty comfortable in this. Z71 package is kind of like minor off-road goodies plus luxury in a way. It seems like that's what it's going for. And this one's pretty loaded up. Again, almost 50 grand. So there's like a $3,000 price difference between these two. Wow. That is powerful. That is powerful. 430 pound-feet of torque in a mid-size pickup truck does well. I actually like this engine quite a bit. Obviously isn't necessarily the best sound, it's still a 4-cylinder turbo, but just the performance of it's quite impressive. And you know, it's not any more economical than the Honda, but you know, it gets the job done. It gets the job done. Let's get another acceleration here. That's solid. So yeah, this drives well. This, I just drove a Nissan Frontier before this because I'm doing a bunch of comparisons with that Ridgeline today. This has a more modern feel to it. It still feels like a pickup truck, but it drives more car-like than the Frontier, that's for sure. So this drive always comes up so quick. So yeah, it basically is a more modern, more car-like driving truck, but it still has the traditional truck stuff: leaf springs, body on frame, solid rear axle. So let's pop into the Ridgeline. Well, let's talk about visibility before we set off. Here's visibility of the hood, both mirrors. Throughout the rest of the rear. And accidentally put it in snow mode. Well, right off the bat, the Ridgeline being unibody and having independent suspension. Biggest thing is independent suspension, more than the unibody. Yeah, better with the turning radius. Not that much better, but it's a little bit better. And again, every single time I drive the Ridgeline, it just feels strange because I know there's a truck bed behind me, but I don't feel like there should be. Not trying to be judgmental on the Ridgeline, but it's just weird. It's like, I feel like I'm driving a crossover, which, I mean, you basically are. It's a crossover with a truck bed. So it's just different. I will say I do miss the torque from the Chevy. This, even in the parking lot, doesn't have that same push. But it's not bad. It's not bad at all. Get into it a bit here. Yeah. Again, some of you are going to like the naturally aspirated V6, right? You're going to say, hey, reliability, Ben. And I'm with you on that. But boy, oh boy, is this down on power compared to that Colorado. It's a big difference. It's a big, big difference. Maybe Honda should put the NSX engine in the Ridgeline, do a super sporty... It's ridiculous. They never do that. It doesn't make sense to do that. But hey, then they'd be able to compete against the Colorado powertrain. So... oh man, I got unlucky with the timing there of the cars. It happens sometimes. It happens. But I would say these seats are a little bit more comfortable than the Colorados. Not that much more, but a little bit. Yeah, it's so much slower. But hey, if it's more reliable, it's more reliable. So, sum things up. Colorado versus Ridgeline. Man, I want to like this Ridgeline. I really do. It's just tough. Like, it's got all the truck stuff, but I don't know. I think there's people that'll like the more car-like driving experience and parking and all of that stuff. But for me, it's like, the Colorado's not that big, right? Mid-size pickup trucks aren't that big, so it doesn't really bother me at all. So let me know if you go Ridgeline or if you would go Colorado. But yeah, if that powertrain in the Colorado is reliable, I kind of lean more towards that in terms of how it drives.